Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mod Author Overview. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at how to create generic dialogue for NPCs. So let's get straight into it. I've already loaded up a new plugin, so let's go out, create a new quest. I'm just going to call it Tutorial Dialogue. Make sure that it's set to start game enabled. Priority can be whatever you want. Let's go create our voice type for NPC. Now this is important because it allows you to actually filter out what NPCs you want to use for this dialogue. So I'm just going to create a new one, Tutorial VT. Let's also create a new NPC. Just name him John. Make sure we name him and give him his correct voice type. Excuse me. Now I'm going to go over two methods for doing this generic dialogue. I'm going to go the faction route and I'm going to go the voice type route. So I'm going to create both. Now, when you're making factions, you always have to make sure that the faction is either neutral or allied to itself, because it will shoot up errors in NVSE logs and it will cause problems down the line. So just make sure it's set like that properly. Alright, now that we've got both the things, let's get started on how to create the actual dialogue. Alright, so now we're back in the quest and I'm going to start showing you how to filter out the dialogue for specific voice types and specific factions. Now obviously you can do it in the conditions and you have to do it for every single response that you want. Rather than doing that, you can come up here to quest conditions and you can choose the voice type and the faction up here instead. This will just make it a lot easier because it means it will apply to every single one of the dialogues, every single one of the lines of dialogue in here. Now you can also do get in faction. Alright, so now that we have the quest conditions set up, let's start creating our dialogue. So we're going to go add topic, greeting. Don't change the name, whatever you do. Now here's where you're going to want to create your responses basically. So let's do hi there. G'day. So I can spell. Now you can see in here, because we set the quest conditions correctly, the tutorial voice type is already selected for us. This is handy, it means we don't have to go through the conditions for every single one of these different snippets. Alright, so now that you have those, this is an important part. You want to select random and goodbye. I'll explain why in a minute. Do that for every single one except the final one. For the final response, you want to make sure that random end is selected. This is just to denote that this is the last random bit and it will cycle back to the top. Now, why do we select random and goodbye? The random tag basically means it will select out of any three of these to play whenever the player interacts with the NPC. The goodbye tag basically means that the player does not open up a dialogue window, instead it just plays the dialogue. Which is very handy because you don't want to be opening up a dialogue just to talk to the NPC if you're just having generic conversations with them. Alright, so now that we've got that set, let's move over to conversation. Let's add topic. Let's go down to hello. Now, the difference between the conversation tab and the topics tab is that the Topics tab is only used whenever the player presses E or interacts with the NPC. Conversation tab happens whenever the player is near the NPC. So say you're moving near an NCR soldier, it'll comment on something or another. It'll comment on the weather or the strip or whatever, gambling addictions, you name it. This is generally in conversation and it's just passing remarks the NPC will throw at you. So let's just say, good weather today. It's not, it's bloody hot. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and these already have the random set because they're in the hello topic. You just want to make sure that the random end is selected for the last one as well. Alright, so that in theory is pretty much it. That's how you do generic dialogue. It's incredibly simple and it's incredibly handy. So let's just grab our NPC and let's go to Good Springs and place him down, and then we'll go in game and see how it looks. Just wait for that to finish loading, won't take long. It's done. Alright, let's just place him down. He's got no clothes, but that's okay. Right, so we're done. Save it as whatever you want. I'm just going to call it tutorial dialogue test. Right, so now we're going to head over to the game and see how it looks. Alright, so we're back in game and got our NPC here, and let's just walk up to him. As you can see, the passing remark of good weather today here was played, which is a good sign. Now if you press E on him, there we go. Play the generic dialogue, and he doesn't go into the whatever the dialogue is when you don't have any dialogue selected. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll include a ESP in the description of the video, which has this already all laid out for you, so you can just copy paste it or copy it from scratch, however you like. It's just there as a resource. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye bye.